Hello there, good morning. Me and my co-host, my coffee, which hasn't been dyed with pigments this time. See our recent pigments video, by the way, if you're interested in making some rather nice bases. Went down quite well. You don't need to seal them. You do not need to seal them. We're going to be covering something very, very different today, and we're going to be covering Dirty Down Gore. If you've heard of Dirty Down, probably the name Dirty Down for you is synonymous with this product, Dirty Down Rust. If you haven't used it, it's incredible. It's one of very few like magic, talent in a bottle, one coat application wonder products that exists in the industry. There are very few things as good as this. We've done a video on that as well. Probably something magic and transformative in time lapse is appearing on the screen now. This is amazing. And they have stepped into the Gore market. They also have Snot. This is just this, but completely transparent to my knowledge. These are equivalents to something that probably a lot of you have on your desk, which is Uhu, 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 Uhu glue, whatever you want to call it. This is unique and it lets you do stringy saliva or gore once you've painted it at least. Some people mix it with something else. Tamiya, I've mixed it with Tamiya Red, Tamiya Clears, but it's got a tiny working time. It is quite difficult to use. While it's very, very fun, you do feel like you are on the clock. Like the moment you start, a timer is ticking and it's going to dry out. And also it's glue, so it sticks to things kind of like too well in some situations because you don't always have time to get things right. So this is the elephant in the room, or the thunder tusk, or the stone horn for the Games Workshop knowledgeable. Is this Gore product going to replace Uhu? Because hopefully you can get something that is tougher, has a longer working time. It definitely does have a longer working time because this is a tiny working time and the application is easier and it's just as fun and can do just as cool stuff. So let's give this a little bit of a go. Let's take a large sip of our coffee first. The first sip of the morning is always the best, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be using our very fancy application tool, which is a stick. This is a bamboo cocktail stick, if people want to know. I bought a pack of 200 years ago and I actually find them very useful. I like the little paddle you have on the end because you get a bit more control and they're just nice. So we're going to try and do some stringy gore between teeth on your model. Now, I've watched a couple of pieces of content from people on this product, and something that hasn't come up, which I think is worth mentioning, is please dust your models before using it. These products, I don't know why, but if there's a dust or a hair, you've got pets, there's an animal hair or something like that on your model before using this, this will make sure that it is stuck very noticeably out of your gore at a right angle normally, or is sitting on the surface. So if you've got something that's been in a cupboard or just anywhere for a little while and perhaps your thought is like, hey, this would look amazing if I covered it in gore, which is probably true, give it a dust. Like blast it with your airbrush, give it a dust with a dry brush. I should probably be using an extra large. I don't know if that would have showed up, but you can see there's literally little tiny motes of dust coming off this because it's an older piece. If I were to use the Gore product before doing this, it would be bad and we would get sad. So let's not do that. Take this out of the way. Do check out the video on this if you've never heard of it. It's amazing. Let's talk about the elephant in the room between the two of them, I guess, which is the price. This is more expensive than this. Much like the Rust, because we're painting miniatures, this is an expensive product. You could still be using the same bottle 10 years later. So I think the value and the price are different things. And if it'll do something unique and it'll do it in a way that's not as fiddly as Uhu, then I am down. So can't really shake this. I don't know if you need to. It seems to suspend really well. It's very gloopy. It's quite thick, so I don't think shaking is an issue. Now, one of the pluses that this has is because it isn't, specifically made to be a glue, while it is made to be sticky. If things go wrong, you can pull it off. And I'm sure I will be capable of making things go wrong. So let's get in a little bit closer, have another quick sip of coffee. And what I'm going to be doing, because you should still work fast, is taking some and dabbing it from one area to another, and then maybe to another and another, and stretching it about a bit. Okay. How good is that? Perfect, right? Like literally perfect. Now you are, I believe, rewarded for working quite fast with this. The things you can do to combat that are to take more. Take it from the pot, not the lid. You still get slight Yoo-hoo vibes. And then sometimes you will get caught out because you kind of need to find somewhere to pin it. You can twist and twist and twist. All right, so while we still have that working time, hopefully I can pull this down to another tooth. Come on. There we go. So whilst not perfect, that is a pretty cool effect for the time spent. This is probably wasted on my stick, but I can just take it off once it's dried. The best work I've done is accidentally in the lid of my pot. Wonderful, such is life. But that's it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna let that dry. It's got a wonderful sheen to it, and the coloring of the red is very, very good. It's got a good depth. Now, bravely, if this was Yoo-hoo, I probably couldn't do this, but I can touch this and it's got a bit of bounce to it and a bit of strength. The Yoo-hoo does not have that. See if I can find another tool. Use my homemade sculpting tool. Now let's do a real durability test. It's pretty good. Oh, that's still sticky. Oh, it's still workable in the thicker areas. Probably tempting fate here. Yeah, so the thicker it is, the longer it will take to dry. You can actually, you can paint on top of this. So if you want to tint it, blood for the blood god, something like that, rather than mixing it with it, you would do it on top of it as a second application. That's it pretty much. It is pretty amazing. It's fun, it's fast, it's practical. I'm gonna let this 100% dry and then I will find a way to demonstrate, probably by like resting a brush on it, a durability test for you. Hopefully not until breakage, but you know, maybe until breakage. I guess we'll find out. I will be back after a couple more sips of coffee and we'll do a durability test. I don't know if it responds well to heat. Let's find out. Let's see if a hairdryer softens it. I'm gonna use it on gentle blow. Okay, as expected, I don't know if you saw, when I hair dried it, the little strands, the little really thin ones, this one started shrinking. So I think you probably could use heat in some way to control this, to kill the little threads. You could put a lighter close to it, but it's going to be risky. A hairdryer or a heat gun or anything like that, don't use a heat gun. It's asking for trouble. So yeah, maybe you could use heat to control the application in some way. Let's do that durability test. Let's find a S2. And this should give us a pretty good idea. It's got soft bristles, obviously. You can see, we can dink it about, even that thin one. My heart rate's probably going up. I like this one, that's my favorite one. But yeah, it's pretty strong. And you could run a varnish over this if you wanted. If you paint it with anything that's got like alcohol in it, it's probably going to weaken it. So I'd stick to normal acrylics. But there we go. It's a quick and dirty one from the Dirty Down product. Let's show you the Snot while I'm here. Let's do a single one more with a Snot, just to prove hopefully that it is a similar product or identical. Let's go for that. After saying it's the same, it's behaving in a more like a sheet rather than strands way. So all right, let's go and let's see if our red dyes are Snot. It feels pretty much the same. Touch here. Interesting. So when we've stretched it, I guess as it was drying, it's kind of changed color. Kind of pull my string down and off. All right, quickly. I don't know if tweezers are going to be better for this, but this is what you do with the bits that you don't want. Try to stretch them off in a safe against something. But otherwise, if you want to keep some of it, I will just put a dot of glue here to make this secure later. There we go. It's great stuff. And that means you can remove it if you went wrong too, which is just as important. Good morning, another day, another coffee, another jumper. Same jumper, I don't know. Comment below if I've changed jumpers. Anyway, so I've been having a little think overnight, and I've acknowledged so far that one of the weaknesses is that this is slightly more suited to larger models. So it stands to reason that as this is a liquid, if we heat it up, it should get a bit more runny. Now, I don't know if this will definitely work, but I suspect, or I have a sneaking suspicion, that if we make this warm, this is just hot water from a tap. If I make this warm, it will make it easier to achieve thinner strings with it, rather than the big fat ones. And it might be slightly easier to control. I don't know, we'll pop it in, we'll come back in 5, and we'll find out. This is as hot as a normal tap will make water, by the way, so it's pretty warm. We're just gonna leave it there for, I guess, 10 minutes. All right, we got slightly distracted, so I put this on the radio and it has stayed pretty warm. So I just went back and rewatched the original footage, and there was definitely, the first one I did was the best before I knew what I was doing. And by the best, I mean, it looks the most realistic, I feel. So let's take our warmed gore out. Got my 2 different tools at the ready. This one does clean really well. It's just it's an old needle that's been bent over and pressed into green stuff inside a very bad old brush. I've got a couple of tools like that I use for sculpting chainmail. So the fact that it's metal lets you clean it off quite easily, which is pretty good. Wow, this is definitely warmer. Ooh, string it. Okay, that is, I believe that is more runny. Right, let's go. Let's work fast. Let's try and replicate what we did that previous time. Smaller amount. Okay, no. Okay, let's try again. There we go. Maybe it's about touching a couple of times. Look at that. See if I can do it now. My blob is becoming more unwieldy. Okay. Remove blob. Or if there's anything about making the surface sticky so it holds onto it more. Yeah, touching a couple of times. So like a double dab or a triple dab or as many times as necessary dab seems to be a big thing. These look by far the best. I'll stop there and we'll go in close. They've even got that thing that gore gets where you get slightly fatter points along it, like beading. They look amazing. The double dab is still warmer than normal. I can't say if the heat is helping, but it could be, or it could not. Let us know your findings below. Right, let's get in close and have a look at those because they are 100% the most successful. Look at that. That looks amazing. They are by far the best. So I would be tempted to kind of remove any of the more clumsy ones that I have going on and redo them. Now, there is something that I will say. I'm going to show you painting these because I may as well. Let's see if they break then. That'd be sad. If you do something this thin and you're doing like a tabletop gaming army, it'll just get missed visually. Unless you have a reason for people to look closer, this is so fine and so cool that it's, it's very Instagram worthy. But this one, the fat one here, that's going to show up more. So have a little think. Something else that you can do, and I will help you with in the future if it would be useful, is you could put some splatter around this, because it's pretty unrealistic that there would only be gore stretching here unless it is saliva. But if it's blood and it's come from something else, there'd be red markings all over the place. So looking at this mini, all around inside the mouth and splattered everywhere else would be a lot of gore. So you got to think about what's going to draw attention to it, but also what's realistic. And if he's this red between his teeth, he should absolutely be covered in blood elsewhere. They are a winner though. That is probably the best stringy gore I have ever done. And it seems to all be about the double dab. I do think you want your surface area to be a little bit more grippy. So maybe just putting one dab on the areas that you'd like to stick from and to, cleaning off your tool, getting some more stuff, and then touching those to the areas that you've pre-selected. Maybe that's a really good way to help do it. Especially if you varnish your model beforehand, that's going to be way harder. So maybe avoid that. All right, so we are not finished yet. I've had a look at mine and there's a crack in it. Hopefully a little zoomed in picture is appearing of that right now. I thought, well, I can probably fix that by putting a gloss on it. I can also strengthen any bonds to the model by putting a gloss on it. And additionally, if the joins of any of my points look like a little bit janky because my placement isn't like on the top of a tooth where it should be, it's coming off the side because I couldn't place it perfectly, I can kind of hide that within the noise of a varnish again. So I think this is going to solve a lot of problems. So I said that you probably couldn't mess around with adding other colors into the Snot. I don't know that for sure, but I do know that you can put other colors into varnish really easily. And I would hazard a guess that it won't be adversely affected whatsoever, other than if you put too much in, it's going to make it less transparent, but we can control that. So here we have a load of colors. Now, if you're looking to make your gore look more gory, I'm going to show you the type of places you want to be. It's really helpful with our range because it's displayed in color order like this. So warm browns, absolutely yes. A couple of deep purples. Black is going to work out well, but your real money is probably going to be here. It's tempting to use these, but unless you're doing it in like a highlighting sense, I would be really careful with bright ones. It can look a bit too much and not realistic. The higher coverage these are, the more difficult it will be, but your deeper, darker, saturated browny or like winey reds, literally winey, sangria and claret from our range, they're going to do a lot of work. So let's see what putting a little bit of, you can go for claret. Let's see what putting a little bit of this in some varnish does. We'll test out the varnish first, but then we will try tinting some of my transparent stuff with this. And this should end up being absolutely indestructible. So that would be a huge plus too. Use any colors you like, it's your model. And if you're doing like green slime, then, you know, fill your boots. But for bloody ready gore, they're the ones that I would go for. Okay, so just normal varnish. This is probably about 50-50 with the water that was in the brush. Let's see what we can do. I'll test first. Test on this big one. Try and make sure that you've got a really good view of the model and you can tell when you're hitting it or not, because it would be a shame to just press too hard and break something. Whatever that angle is. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that has worked amazingly, and it looks more red somehow for having done it. Let's go for a delicate one now. Pray for me. From underneath seems to be safer. And this is the point that was broken, so I'm just going to cover all of that tooth area. Now this will be locking it in very permanently once this is done. It's done. Oh my God, it makes it look more shiny. I mean, it's a gloss varnish. That should not be a surprise. All right, cool. This is good, we are onto something. Now, if I take out a lot of the water from the brush, and I use some neat, not diluted at all, maybe I can add a globule. And that is absolutely the type of thing that we need to find out the possibility of. So, okay, on the big one. Okay, so if it was a thicker varnish, maybe you could. Let's try and be really over the top. Oh, you can. We have globule. Incredible. Try and do another one. An easy to see position. Oh, yes. Oh, wow. That is cool. Okay, so we have an issue there because I'm not using a red one, so it's time. Less of this. We do not want to make it opaque. Okay, now we are talking. I want it to be semi-transparent and amazing. That is so cool. That has added a lot to the potential of the technique, and it's going to make it more sturdy. Varnish your gore. So pleased that I took 3 or 4 or 5 Ks at this. Oh dear. Yes, absolute winner. Extremely pleased with that. This has changed things for me. Ooh. All right, that's it. I'm sure some of you are going to have experiences that we can gain from, and as ever, anything particularly good, I will copy and paste in the pinned comment at the bottom of this video, which will be the top comment. All right, that's it.